There's one thing about Amalree never fails, eh? The 7th of October 22. I wouldn't like to be up in the tops today, I'll be honest with that. Quite inclement. But, well, I decided that rather than continue the vlog from Amalree in that horrendous weather today, I just decided that I would, like to see Kenmore Hotel. I think I mentioned in one of my vlogs back in the, was it back in August or something like that? I can't remember. That the Kenmore Hotel had been purchased by a Texan billionaire, and is now closed completely for refurbishments for around 2 years. I was fortunate enough to be passing late November. I think I'd been up at Ballahullish Hotel or something like that. Anyway, I popped into Kenmore and inquired about if there were any special deals, and I was quite lucky that they had something. So I went up a few days later. It was early December, I remember that, and had a fabulous stay. It was quite quiet, obviously, for that time of year, but it was a wonderful place, fabulous hotel. Everything you see has been completely gutted. It's it's a crying shame, it really is. It's a wonderful place, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Robbie Burns has stayed there, and there's a plaque, or well, at least there used to be a plaque, probably gone now, which sat on top of the fireplace, where he leaned against at the exact spot. Unfortunately, I thought I'd taken a photograph of that, but I can't locate it. It may well be somewhere, but I can't locate it. But anyway, this is just a short vlog on the Kenmore Hotel. I've added in some extra footage from a walking excursion. I'll put some notes up, but this is just a little introduction and a little glimpse of the Kenmore Hotel where I stayed on the 6th, I think it was the 6th of December, it would have been, for a couple of nights. Very nice room here in the Kenmore Hotel. Room number 6 for the 6th of December. Oh, it's Geraldine's birthday. Forgot. There's the bathroom. Number 6. Oh, look at the size of the shower. Very, very nice indeed. It's all very good, isn't it? Let's get a cup of coffee. And here's my bag. There's a nice bin. Oh, nearly forgot. The view from my window, there's a storm brewing, Storm Barra apparently it's called. But the rain's on, and it's very heavy rain. I came over the Small Glen route, right over the Birks of Aberfeldy. There was snow and snowing heavily. No, it wasn't snowing heavily, it was threatening to snow heavily, but it was sleety snow when I passed through, so I made it through in time. I think that's called Drummond Hill, if I remember correctly. It's on the north side of the River Tay, which is flowing down there. It's the River Tay and the Kenmore Bridge. That's the route that you'll take to Cullen. Well, to Cullen and Glenlyon and Cosheville and Kinlochranach, lots of places actually. But I didn't want any good weather today. I just wanted to come and have a proper rest in a nice establishment, a nice old establishment. I believe it was built in 1572, so that's quite an old building. I'm not entirely sure if it's the same structure. It's been there since 1572, but certainly it's been the site of a hotel and inn since, well, an inn. It's on the front of the building. It's Scotland's oldest inn, and it's been operational since 1572, so that's quite a long time. And though I have drank on a couple of occasions, maybe more, in the bar, I've had a couple of stays in the bar, I never actually stayed in a hotel. It's been something that had been on my mind for many, many years. I'm talking decades. And I never got round to it until I made that choice. And it is quite incredulous because here's me staying at the Kenmore Hotel, and just a few weeks later, the whole place is sold off completely, and it's now an empty shell. Quite incredulous. I do, in some respects, feel that I've been drawn to the Kenmore Hotel. Do you understand me? It's like drawn to Amaury and drawn to different places, but I was drawn to the Kenmore Hotel. It was such a relaxing place. It really was. But anyway, here's some more pictures of the Kenmore Hotel. This is the dining room. The dining room is actually closed off for the evening. I mean, you can see it, it's at Christmas time and stuff. The festivities were all arranged, but due to the lack of guests, they decided that all the meals would be served in the bar, which was perfectly fine with me. It's quite a large lounge area, quite a nice place to relax actually, and it was just lovely sitting by the fire. So I'll bring up this picture of in the corner I was seated having a very fine meal. Actually no, I was sitting there having a drink, and then I went through there was another part to it where I had my meal. I do apologise. But at the fireplace there on the right hand side, that is where Robbie Burns had leaned against and the plaque was put on. I mean, I hope that people start to put plaques on fireplaces where I've leant up against them, you know. I'd actually like plaques on floors where I've actually collapsed after drinking too much gin or something. But although I tend not to collapse with drink, it tends to impact my brain rather than my feet. But yeah, so that Robbie Burns, I can't locate the picture for that, but this is one of the tables in the area, just to show you the decor, that was all. So that's the table in one of the part of the bar. It's kind of out of focus picture there. There was actually a gathering of people there. They were quite nice company actually. I think they were coming down for a wedding, and they stopped off at the Kenmore Hotel. They were all heading off to some wedding. I don't know where that was. And that's the bar area where we sat and dined. I say we, I was sitting on my own. The whole purpose of the trip was to sit on my own. And then if I bring up some other pictures for you, basically of the the hotel in itself, where it was Christmas decorations, all that. This is the guest lounge that we're looking at now. So I relaxed there after my breakfast and really felt quite at home, just sitting, pondering. It was so peaceful, absolutely peaceful. I mean, it was obviously there's views through to the reception area and stuff, but just where I was seated, it was just absolutely divine. Here's well, you can see my camera holder. This is me situated in a very similar to the couch to the one that's opposite you there. And of course the viewing through to the reception area. The girl that looked after my interest was a lovely girl. She really was so pleasant, and she gave me a very good deal, I have to say, for my stay. But all this decor, I mean, it's fabulous, I'm sure you must agree, it's absolutely fabulous, is all now no more. Because in the summertime, I popped my head through the door and I managed to get a look at it, and every single thing that there has gone. This is the breakfast area. It's part of that. It's a huge dining room here. So it was a buffet breakfast, but it was a hot breakfast as well, as you could take cereal, porridge, and toast. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. Was I hate making toast myself in a hotel. I know it's a very small thing, but I think it's because I've had experience of jamming the toast in the toaster and almost setting off the fire alarms in the hotel. I can't remember where that was, but and then a lot of people do that, and then the first thing they do is they pick up a knife, a stainless steel knife, and try and to prise the toast out, not realising it's electrics. So I think the hotels, for health and safety issue, if nothing else, should actually make the toast themselves and serve that on request, but don't expect guests, because I mean, I've got a lot of common sense, but some people have got no common sense whatsoever, and it seems to be more prevalent nowadays than it ever was, where people don't know anything about anything, even making toast. So these pictures, yeah, I've not included much of my so-called excursion that I was talking about. That was the ones in the walk that I'd done from Almory to Kenmore itself. I thought that would make the video too long. I'll put in a picture from I think that was September 2015 of just an elevated view of Kenmore Village and the hotel itself, just to finish off. But yeah, it was a really good stay, a really relaxing time, and that's exactly what I wanted, and that's why I go to these hotels. I go to the most ancient places I can find, and all the ones that I've been to have a splendid coal fire, and that just adds to the ambience. I have to tell you, I've got a coal fire in my own house, which I really, well, life wouldn't be the same without my coal fire, I have to say. But messy. But it's one of those jobs that it takes a few minutes of your day, but the satisfaction for the rest of the evening is totally worth it, I have to tell you. Yeah, I'm all for coal fires. Forget climate change. A few dozen fires are not going to make any difference, from somebody's house. It's coal fires or wood stoves or whatever you call them. Not really in Scotland, at least. When you look up to the moors in the month of April and May, and find that half the countryside is ablaze, smoke belching over most of Perthshire and Aberdeenshire, especially. They have to burn the heather, of course. It's a necessary job to let the grouse feed on the fresh shoots. But I can't see the Scottish government or anyone else trying to ban that activity. No, they wouldn't try that, would they? Yeah, and just on that subject alone, I think it was absolutely appalling what happened up in Braemar for the residents of Braemar. That's the ones who are council tenants. And Aberdeenshire Council told them they would no longer be able to have open fires in their properties. Remember, this is a place that holds the record for the lowest temperatures in the UK. Minus 27 or something. And these temperatures are regularly met, down in minus teens and minus early 20s for most winters. And the council decided that they were not allowed open fires, and they're also prone to lots of power cuts up there. So the tenants apparently appealed to Aberdeenshire Council, and the Aberdeenshire Council then agreed that that would be okay based on the information that's been supplied. It's common sense, isn't it? It's bloody, it doesn't need an inquiry or an appeals to make it. It's just common sense. I mean, do these councillors not understand anything about the Scottish winter? Anyway, the whole thing was then overturned by the Scottish government, who said, no, we have climate targets to meet, and no, you can't have your coal fire. It's absolutely appalling what's happening. And, you know, so I really do think that they should take that to some judiciary, you know, the High Courts or something, and see if they can be overturned again, because I just find it's absolutely appalling. The coldest place in Scotland, and well, one of the coldest places, not the coldest, but you know what I mean. Altnahara up in the Highlands can also have very low temperatures up near Lairg. But I just find it's totally bananas. It's like, you know, at least if you've got a coal fire and there's no power, and they're threatening to have power cuts this winter, so goodness knows why they spend hundreds of millions, well, billions actually, on these stupid looking wind turbines, which were meant to reduce all our electricity bills and give us ample electricity. And then they tell us that we've got to pay more for electricity, and we might have power cuts. So there's no logic, is there? These people need to go.